And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just...
Oh, a hit. He lost the football. Stafford puts it on the ground. And he's going to be taken down. It's a sack, and they fail on the try for two. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite, but in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free, and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
Vikings offense gets set for their next possession here. I mentioned the Kansas City game. That was one you had, the Kansas City field goal to win it 26-23 in Week 9. That broke the 4-game win streak for the Vikings. What else did you glean from that game for Minnesota now at 6-3?
That they're still a prime contender. I mean, this team is very good. Off a little bit on offense. Wasn't their normal production. Defense gave up a big 91-yard touchdown run to Damian Williams. That's not normal for them. Still, we're in the game, despite not playing with, I guess you would call it their A game in this one. Not to take credit away from Kansas City. But this Vikings team, week in, week out, is going to be very difficult for anyone to solve. Look for them to be in it all the way.
They'll try to bounce back upcoming on a road game. They're going to Dallas in Week 10. First down, here's the run with Cook. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
They run again on first down. Cook. He'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down. Third and short yardage, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And the Lions have recovered. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They'll run with McKissick. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Breaks through the... There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Detroit. J.D. McKissick with his second touchdown of this opening quarter. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. And a pair of rushing touchdowns now for him in the first quarter.
And I'm liking what I'm seeing.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. 12-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. Second quarter action now from Detroit, and it's the homestanding Lions who have the football, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And now off to the races down the right side. And they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4. Suddenly it's 1st and goal after the interception. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. J.D. McKissic on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. This is becoming quite the half he's had here.
Remember in our pregame meetings, they talked about wanting to run the football and staying with it. Well, when you're scoring this many touchdowns, there's no reason to go away from it, is there? They are off to a fantastic start. They hope it continues.
3 already for them. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a 2-point conversion differently than if it was 1st and goal from the 2, or I should say 3rd and goal from the 2.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
So after the touchdown, Martin now on to kick this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down. Let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the...
Oh, he tried to pitch it, and the ball's loose. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he's going to get this on down to the 13-yard line. Stephon Diggs, his intended receiver. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It'll wind up being a huge loss on the play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and forever. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with 2nd and very long. They will run it. It's McKissic. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's McKissic. And he'll get it down to the 47 here.
I'm going to hit you all.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. 3rd down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the 1st down.
Stafford will stay out there. He'll lead his guys up to go for it on 4th down. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete. The former Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr there to jar it free. Well, hey, we talked about the AFC playoff picture. Let's look at the NFC. That's a different story. You've got Dallas and Philly neck and neck in the East. Then Green Bay, New Orleans, and San Francisco as division leaders. But with only 2 more wild card spots, going to be some good teams left out in the cold in January.
Yeah, because right now you got Seattle at 7-2, Minnesota 6-3. They would be in as of right now. But the Rams 5-3, Carolina, and whoever doesn't win the East out of either Dallas or Philadelphia, this is going to be a heck of a battle, isn't it? People are going to have an effect on this conference with every game that's played, maybe even teams that aren't in the conference. If you lose to someone, anyone, it could knock you out of the race.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. We remind you that coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will be alongside. He'll have highlights and analysis from Orlando of this first half of action. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. 22 yards there, a first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And they get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Rushing off defenders, and he's going to get this inside the 30. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming. Eric Kendricks, the Vikings' leading tackler a season ago, in on the stop. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly, due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the 3rd quarter. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. This will be taken in at the 1. And now look at him go. Past the 20. Touchdown, Detroit. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the 3rd part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage.
And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. Oh, he breaks another. And he gets in. Well, no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead.
Partner, they're up big. They snapped the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They fake the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
Starting the 3rd quarter with Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Working out of the gun, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. The 20, 10, 5, and into the end zone. A scoop and score on the fumble return for the Detroit touchdown. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They break. Oh, and it's a fake. They'll try and throw for it. Able to shake him off. And would you believe it? This is caught in the end zone. And the fake extra point works to extend their lead by 2.
All right, partner, one more time. Our whole lives, you put the ball on the 3-yard line, kick the extra point. 2015, they put it on the pay to go, and they got it done.
I was going to say they had a 15-yard play in their back pocket.
You don't see that on too many play sheets, do you?
No. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. We were down there. That message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. CD, we're already firmly in the month of November, so I want to go ahead and take a look at the AFC playoff picture. Right now, division leaders, New England, Baltimore, Houston, and KC. If it ended today, the wild cards would go to Buffalo and Indianapolis. You think those are going to be the 6? Probably some shuffling along the way.
There will be some shuffling along the way. Maybe
into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Rashaan Melvin, and they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpires get different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Britton Colquitt now, standing just outside his own goal line. On the return, here's Agnew. Whoa, shifty. Whoa, a tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments. And you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half. It gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
Right back to him on 1st down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Anthony Barr got a real education at UCLA in playing not just his normal position of stand-up outside linebacker, but down defensive end. So he had to incorporate a variety of moves, take on bigger people. So he learned great leverage while he was there. That really helps him when he's trying to stop people running the ball.
Born in South Bend, Indiana. Thought about going back to go to Notre Dame, but you're right. Great career at UCLA and now a great career in the NFL.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he pushes forward, but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. He knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just 1 shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it. But he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point good by Prater, and that will extend this big lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it ends with a 3-yard scoring run. Here's Martin now following the score as he'll send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Vikings now heading onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Cousins. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back the intended target. That'll bring up second down. Well, with that incompletion, let's tap into the useless facts file, shall we? 3 guys with the last name Allen got the start in Week 9. Josh in Buffalo, Kyle in Carolina. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Lions have recovered.
Brandon, that's the 3rd time he's fumbled so far in this game. And, you know, you can make excuses for each and every one of them. But the bottom line is he's got to take care of it better. And now that he's shown a propensity for fumbling it, just think about what the defenders are trying to do.
Yeah, well, guys hate 1 fumble, 2's, oh, my goodness, 3 or more. Wow. Quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds and kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Lions use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. And on his way to the end zone, shedding the tackle, he would not be denied.
That's what's called finishing the run. Making sure you power your way through. One-on-one tackle. No running back wants to go to the bench and say, I got stopped just short.
So now Stafford will bring up the Lions, and they'll go for 2. Now a play fake, and it's Stafford. On the move to his left. He's going to take off with it.
I know we could sit up here and dance around it a little bit, but going for 2 in this situation, somebody doesn't like someone else. There's no doubt in my mind.
Well, what they couldn't see is you lean back in your chair and you... I mean, yeah, that's not a good decision. They didn't get it, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can just say, well, my kicker's hurt in this spot. No, okay.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it now because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Get your swerve on.
From the 25 on second down, Cousins. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Agnew now to return. Nifty footwork at the 45. A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And again this time to the tailback. Escapes the defender. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to...
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. A 15-yard touchdown run as his guys continue to pour it on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. And this fake extra point attempt failed big time. Not only did they not get it, they went backwards.
Partner, that type of a lead, and they're going to fake it from the 15 to try and pick up a 2-point play instead of kicking it through the post. Come on, man. Put that in mothballs. Come on.
What?
Come on. Don't do that.
Put that in mothballs.
Yeah, preserve that for it. That's an ancient relic. Faking it. I can understand you want to rub it in a little. You fake it when you snapped it from the 3. But from the 15, mothball that bad boy, just like my grandmother had.
Yeah,
in her attic, the stuff she used to preserve.
It smelled terrible. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. Nothing at all on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. Call it no gain on the dump off, and it's 3rd down. So nothing there on the screen that time.
That means all that great acting they tried on offense went for naught, didn't it? Because you have to try and influence them. Make them think that you're doing something else. Make them think that they can get to the passer by letting them by and then setting up the screen and getting downfield. Didn't happen at all. Give a lot of credit to the defense.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And into the end zone, a scoop and score on the fumble return from the Detroit touchdown. So that is now 2 fumble return touchdowns. And you talk about something that's going to drive it. And oh, he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he gets in. And no one was expecting a fake there, but they add 2 more onto their lead. And that's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
And now out comes Minnesota.
And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points. You feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Cousins on first down. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And it's a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the fourth quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But
it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down. The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule. But if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Nice game there, partner, but you and I both know that won't do anything for the final score. They're not going to win this one. Right now they're playing for pride and fantasy points.
And just to erase that goose egg, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Throwing, Cousins. He gets this one into the hands of Dalvin Cook.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Third and long for Cousins. And that's knocked away and incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
But it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because you can it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
That good for 22 and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into it. Enemy territory. So this one's over. It's a win for the Detroit Lions. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well.